Good evening. So I've got to sort out my wheels. Like it says in the title, I've got an issue with them. Not with the wheels themselves or the tyres, but the centre caps. They don't sit right. Yes, I contacted the company I bought them off, and they also contacted the company that made them. They've said they've made and supplied thousands and never had an issue. So why I've got an issue, I do not know. So the story is, like my van Fords, they have certain bolts that go in, I have lugs that come out, and they have nuts that go on. And the caps are catching on top of the lugs. So I'll show you now. As you can see, not flush. But this wheel, I have done, I've sorted, I'll show you now, is flush. So what's happening is, the lugs are catching the back of these indentations. So, if I take so there you can see lugs sticking out, and you can only see where I've unbolted the cap, there's only 2 holes. And I was told by the company that the bottom of the Rhino has to face the tyre valve. So if I flip it that way, as you can see, they're going to match up. But then you can see this is going to catch on there, hence why they're not sitting flush. Unfortunately, the rest of this video I had to voice over. Noisy neighbours, but let's carry on. As you can see, I'm using a breaker bar just to break off the nuts while the weight of the vehicle's on the wheels. I've got these sockets that have protective plastic sleeves. You can buy these anywhere and they're pretty cheap. It just saves you scratching your alloys. So once they're all broken, we can jack up the vehicle so we can take the wheel off. So let's jack it up. Just get the wheel just off the ground. Doesn't need to be high. Like I said, these wheels are quite heavy, so you don't want to try and lift them. But as you can see here, I'm going a bit jai-ho, but I do drop it in the end, make it a little bit easier. So once it's off the ground, you can give the wheel a little spin just to make sure it's free. I mean, you can only do this on the front really, as the back will have the handbrake on. So you can just see that's all nice and raised, but still on the ground. Chock the back wheel if you need to, just to stop the vehicle moving while you jack it up. Now with the wheel off, this is a perfect opportunity to check your brakes. Just easier. So if you look down at the pad, you just see there's plenty of meat on that pad. And the great thing is the full face of that disc is all nice and shiny. So I know that caliper is fully working and not seized. Otherwise, you'll get ridges. We'll check the spring, make sure there's no damage. Check the pigtails, make sure they're not cracked because they're common. Make sure everything's good. And now you can see where I've jacked it on the most stable part of the van. Never jack on your sills. It's not worth it. You could end up causing some serious damage. And yeah, so there's the spacers. I can go really deep into these spacers, but you've just got to make sure that they're right for your vehicle. And try and make sure that the centre bore is perfectly snug. This just stops wheel vibration, but like I said, that's a whole nother video. So once they're on, I can crack on and get the other 3 done. Like I said, I had one done yesterday. Best tool to have is a torque wrench, so you know you're torquing your wheels up to the right spec by the manufacturer. So you have Newton meters and foot-pounds. So once you know that, then you know. Always go in a star pattern. Never go around clockwise or anti-clockwise. You're just spreading the weight. So you can just see here, just start at one point, so 1 o'clock, and tighten it up. And then some torque wrenches, they click, some have a beeper on them, And like you say, just make your way round, make sure they're all perfect. Now once they click, once you've done it, go round again, just to clarify that one nut is not as tight as you thought, or you haven't missed one by mistake. So once you've done, then you're happy to carry on. Torque wrenches are pretty much available anywhere. Make sure you get the one within spec of your wheel. This one just folds in to mine, which is 200 Newton meters or 140 foot-pounds. So I've maxed this out, but I know it's good. Also, when you finish with them, make sure you unwind it so you're taking the tension off the spring. Otherwise, they just weaken the spring, and then it's not actually worth having it if it's broken. So now the wheel's all torqued up, you can see not much thread showing out of the wheel. So now I know that these caps are going to fit on nice and flush, and can lose that gap. It sounded me wild knowing it was there. So let's crack on with the other two. So drop it down, get the jack out, and have a quick look, see what the tyres are like from the arch. Obviously the vehicle needs moving about a bit just for it to settle, but just pokes out nicely outside the arches. Nothing major, nothing to worry about. Just gives it that more wider look. So now to check the rear brakes. And the pads on these are a little bit thinner, but these rear brakes are going to get overhauled over Christmas. Brake liner looks good. The face fully used. Jack on the leaf spring support, so I know it's good and strong. Check the spare tyre, but I know that's good. Always chock the front wheels if you're doing the back, because obviously you've got no brake on the front. Just adds a bit of security, and that's it all done. Rears are not too bad. It's got a bit of weight in the back, so the camber pulls the top of the wheels in. But yeah, happy. And that's it. That's the end of the video. All the spacers are on. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'd also like to thank Wheelbase for sorting this out, getting me the spacers for absolutely free to sort my wheels out. It's not ideal, you know, but it just gives the vehicle a bit of a wider look. So super happy. Like I said, any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching. See you next time.